Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, January 12th, 2022. Thursday, January the 12th, 2022. Well, I'm going to get the minor stuff here out the way. Minor stuff. We have Alexis working with Gregory. Come on now. We already know. Within a month, Gregory's going to be working for the invader. He's going to be working for the invader. Alexis is chief editor, but she needs to also make him vice editor, second editor in charge, because she was asking him, "You're good at this. You've been teaching journalism for decades." And he goes, that's because his wife, one of them had to have the steady paycheck. And he was able to do some things with his wife. I forget her name. They said it, but whatever. She's not on the show. So he says, but yeah, it's thrilling. He likes working with Alexis. He likes, kind of seeing things through. She's going to offer him a job. I mean, it's like this. Sean was never the editor of Aurora. He had more of an ownership role in the paper, which is why he hired Alexis to be the editor. So I think Alexis needs to, kind of give Gregory a position like editing like her. Because like he told her, no, the boots to the ground reporting, that's for younger people. That's not for me. And I don't see him, hey, General Hospital, hey, listen, what do you find out about? No, that's not him. So I see them because they enjoy working together. He helped her with putting, the article with the information they got about Britt's death and yada, 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 yada. So they had a real good evening together, working together. He was in there working, even though he didn't know she was coming back to work. He worked there. So give the man an office, even though he would always be in her office working just the way he was. But give him a position. You want to, Alexis. And she was hinting at it. She was trying to see if he would kind of go for it, and then the other boring, I'm sick. I fast forward every time Brooklyn and Chase's scenes are together. Fast forward. I don't want to hear it, don't want to see it. Right? Michael called Brooklyn, asked her to go to the gatehouse because he had to left Nina with Wiley and he had to rush to the hospital. So Brooklyn and Chase go there and she's like, oh goodness, Nina has Wiley just glued to her. So she was saying, how do I do this? How do I, get her out of there without upsetting Wiley? And Chase is like, keep it light. She goes, bottom line, Nina already knows Michael is sending someone. She knows Michael's not gonna leave her with her son. So Nina should also help make that transition smooth, right? He goes, just be tactful. Oh, but can I do it? Oh, you're gonna come in and help me? Oh goodness, right? So Sonny gets a call, and he says, I'm on my way. Well, of course, Nina calls him to come over to Michael's place. Why? I just knew for sure Sonny would go to the hospital. When he said, I'm on my way, I thought he was on his way to the hospital. Why would she call him to Sonny's house? I mean, to Michael's house, when she knows Michael doesn't want Sonny around Wiley, nor does Michael want her around Wiley. But see, the minute she has an opportunity, oh, it's going to be my way. I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, wasn't it interesting, everybody, how Sonny came in through that side door? Was that like they tried to figure out how we're going to do this? Because we have Brooklyn and Chase at the front door. Brooklyn trying to figure out how she's going to go in, right? I have never seen anybody on the planet at that gatehouse come in the door that Sonny came in today. I looked, I said, well, where's that door lead to? So grandma, and Nina's like, yeah, here, see your grandson, blah, blah, blah. So then Brooklyn comes in and she goes, yeah, Michael sent us down here, to take over, look after Wiley. And Nina's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Actually, yes, she did. Brooklyn, Sunny was there because she goes, yeah, Wiley, you know what? It is getting late. It is getting late, you know. Um, so Brooklyn says, hey, why don't you go on up and brush your teeth? I've already done that. And she said, look, if I give you $5, will you go do it again? Yep. there's that Quartermain, right? Yep, $5, absolutely. He goes running upstairs, and Sonny tells Nina, well, look, I'm getting ready to go to GH right now. And she goes, I'll come with you. So they both go out the actual front door. And I thought, but Sonny, you didn't come in that door. You came in the side door that they just put in on the house just today for you to come through. Why didn't you say, okay, your car's out that way, Nina, because I got to go out this way. That's where my car is. Just saying, sometimes they forget those logistics, you know. So they both leave together. And then, of course, we deal with Brooklyn and Chase. I fast forwarded the whole thing. Now, Cody and Sasha, please don't tell me that. Please don't have them hook Sasha up with Cody. Brooklyn, deceitful, manipulating Brooklyn is great for Cody. But see, she would think he's the help. Oh, no, he's the help. I couldn't fall for the help, right? Sasha has been through too much to be hooked up with the likes of Cody. Oh, I don't like, and I see it already. Just by the way they were talking, and Cody was being a little brash with Cody. Sasha tells him pretty much her life story, and he goes, "Ooh, dude got a horrible story," And she's like, "Wow." He goes, "Oops, was that a little crass, a little rude?" She goes, "Yeah, but you know what? I like it." She goes, "Everybody tends to feel like they have to handle me with kid gloves, But she goes, "I'm not gonna break. Yeah, I go through some rough ups and downs, but I'm not gonna break, And I'm thinking, oh no, she's gonna be tied to that man. So I already see that. And then we had Elizabeth. They do give her moments of being a mother, right? She comes over. Cam is just trying to scrub the varnish off of a table, right? She goes, I think you missed a spot. And he goes, what are you doing here, Mom? She goes, I've come to check on you because I haven't been able to catch you. He goes, well, I took extra shifts here because I'm trying to get a new amp. And she goes, Cameron, I know something's wrong with you. And poor look on his little broken-hearted face, poor Cameron, you know? And so she does she really talks to him like she had a good mother-son talk to him. Good mother-son talk, and she told him the truth. Relationships end not usually on just one incident. Sometimes it's a culmination of incidences, and then ultimately communication ends up happening. Lack of communication. Look, that's exactly what happened with her and Finn. I mean, she was going crazy and all that. Elizabeth was going through a lot, right? Total no communication with them. Right. So anyway, in the end, he saw that, you know what? Because he was just blaming Esme, wanted them to throw the book at Esme. Oh, she just, and so Elizabeth finally got him to see, yeah, what Esme did was 100% wrong. He's like, Jocelyn and I were perfect before this. And I thought about it, and I thought they were good friends before this. See, who was pushing Jocelyn and Cameron to have sex with each other? It was Esme. They were not there yet. They were just in the kissing, we got some good kisses in phase. They had not even thought of taking it to the next level. Esme kept digging at him. Oh, if you guys were really that close, you'd be having sex. Oh, me and Nicholas, me and Spencer, we express our feelings and affections for each other. She kept on and on and on, and she decided it was going to be at that cabin because she had her vicious little plan that they were going to have sex there. Now, in their minds, they felt they were ready, but that was all by design. They really had not done that, or hadn't even truly made it happen. Yeah, they had thought of it, and they thought of it after she kept putting it in their heads. They thought of it, because I even think they kind of were gonna get together one time, and they're like, nah, nope, you know. So their close friendship may not have ever actually turned into a sexual relationship had they had time to just be themselves and just have their own, just be themselves. They were friends, right? And I like the fact that they weren't rushed into it. They took their time, but then in the end, they got rushed into it. So, that was just my take. And you know what was so interesting? This thought came up sometime last night I was thinking about the soap. You notice how Elizabeth seems to be the main nurse on Esme's case. You notice that? Elizabeth. Part of me thinks, you know what is, and one of you comment corner folks, recap fans said this, that I'll bet you Esme's going to actually end up being Jeff Weber's kid, Elizabeth's sister. Elizabeth has more sisters popping up out the woodworks. First Hayden, now Jeff. Elizabeth does have a sister, Sarah, I think her name is. We never see her, right? But I think, because look, what Ryan said is Heather showed up at the cabin just one day in the woods where he was hiding out. And they spent probably about a month. They didn't spend years together, possibly a month. She spent with Ryan. And then like he said, he woke up and she was gone. But then he found out she had a baby. That doesn't mean she wasn't already pregnant in her first trimester. What was also interesting, because it just didn't fit with me as to why Jeff Weber, out of everybody he went to visit, why would he visit Heather? Why? He knew Heather went to Kelly simply because there was a crash and Heather got away. Heather didn't routinely get messages to Cameron or see Cameron. And did you see the way she was flirting with Jeff? She was trying to, oh, goodness, and I'm thinking, she could have been pregnant with Jeff's child, right? That's going to be interesting, because now that's also going to be ties in the community for Esme. Ties to Cameron. It's going to be her nephew. Ties to Elizabeth, her sister. That's going to be interesting if they decide to go that route. That's just a theory I thought of. Let me know what you think about that, comment corner. What do you think about that theory with Esme and Elizabeth? Heather has had more than one of Elizabeth's siblings. Stephen Lars, her brother. Heather's his mother. Heather could be Esme's mother as well, and Stephen the father. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that just popped into my head. So now we get to the good part. Good part is Carly and Drew get to the hospital. Jocelyn shows up at the same time. They're supporting Michael. They're hugging Michael. TJ just got on duty too, so he didn't have much information. But Terry and Dr. Navarro come out. The baby's okay. It's Willow that's, is in jeopardy. And Terry's like, I need to find some some clinical trials we could get her on right away so we could, get her a donor. And Drew's thinking like, wait a minute, but she has a donor, but he's just standing there. So Terry leaves and Drew looks at Carly, and Sonny and Nina are there, but they're away. They're by the nurse's station. Sonny didn't even approach Michael, which was good. All Sonny did was show his presence, like, I'm here for you, son, which was good. He didn't feel he had to be. Now see, had Sonny not been with Nina, Nina would have been all up in that mix, all up in it, causing an argument, causing a fight. Nina would have made it all about herself. But see, since Sonny was there, oh, she's so dutiful. And so Sonny looked at her and he goes, hey, wait a minute. Why were you at Michael's? And she looked at him. I went over to talk to Michael about Wiley. I know, I should have stayed away. I know. And I'm thinking, you have got to be kidding me. And Sonny just looks at her like, oh, okay. See, he let that go. After he had told her, stay out of it, stay away, no fighting, no. She, as soon as he leaves her, she go, and he accepts it, which is why she continues to do the things that she does. Because all she'll come to, I just wanted to, oh no, Nina, no. So Nina wants to go to the chapel to say a prayer for Willow. Okay. All right, Nina. Sonny goes too. And so Drew is telling, Drew asked Michael, wait a minute, why would they need to put Willow on clinical trials when you got a donor match? And then Michael explained the donor ended up not being healthy enough to donate. And so then, Jocelyn's like, well, then how could they be on the donor registrar? And he goes, well, a lot of times when people get on, it's years before they're called and different things happen, health-wise. You got to be healthy to do it. So anyway, Michael says, I got to go do something. And I thought he was going to go after Sonny and Nina in the chapel, but later it showed him coming out of Willow's room with the doctors. And that's where Terry was telling everybody, that they got to try to get Willow on some trials because they don't know if she's going to wake up. She fell into a coma. So Michael goes to sit down and Jocelyn goes and sits next to him and they have their long talk. She's there for him. She, it's her brother. And of course, Dex texts, is everything okay? And he goes, is that Cam? And she goes, no, someone else. And Michael, I'm glad he didn't glance and see it was Dex because he don't even need to think about none of that, right? He needs to stay focused on Willow and the family. So Drew is telling Carly, so you know what has to happen. I know, but I mean, Willow's, she goes, no, Carly, just to let you know, I'm not going to hold on to this secret. No, I know. I'm going to tell her. I know, So Carly goes into Willow's room and TJ lets him speak to her. And she's trying to say, Willow, wake up. There's something I need to tell you. There's something you need to know. And so, of course, Willow doesn't wake up, right? So she comes out and she tells Drew, Willow didn't wake up. I tried talking to her. She didn't wake up. And so he goes, okay. And she goes, no, I know what I have to do. She goes, I got it. I'll be back. So he goes, where are you going? She goes, I know what I have to do. So she goes to the chapel. Sonny and Nina are there. And they stand up because they see the look on her face. Like, oh, what happened? And so she goes, I need to speak to Willow alone. And Sonny looks and looks at Willow. I need to speak to Nina alone. And so he looks at Nina, and Nina's like, look, Nina loves every opportunity to throw down with Carly. She's like, shoot, I don't care that we're in a church. I got this, So, yeah, and when Carly tells her, oh, it's gonna be on up in the church. We already know what's gonna happen with there and how that's gonna happen. But Nina is going to find out tomorrow that she has a daughter, one that's alive. So anyway, let's go to comment corner. We got quite a few comments that I'm going to go through. We have Patricia. Patricia says, you are right, Daily Recap lady. Both Nina and Willow made selfish decisions and were wrong. Neon says, I can't figure out what's wrong with the writers of GH. They are destroying the show. They're making all the characters into jokes. Nicholas, Elizabeth, Michael, Nina, Sonny. Shall I go on? I know. Brooklyn. Yeah, exactly. Dacia says Michael should call the judge and tell him everything Nina is doing. The judge will indefinitely keep Nina away from the Quartermain house, ban Nina from pictures forever. Sonny finding out that Nina was causing this with her behavior. I don't blame Carly for not telling Willow that she is Nina's daughter. Nina's narcissistic, selfish, and only thinking about herself. Carly needs liars. Yeah, she needs liars to think she's defending from. Yes, Carly. But Carly will be one of the biggest liars. Um, so yeah, that, you know what, isn't Nina supposed to not be within? I mean, they don't have a restraining order against her, but she is to have zero contact, which would mean you don't go to the place of residence. They could tell it. I mean, really, they could tell a judge. And then Kawan says Michael's acting like a midget. AJ Hartley. Who is AJ Hartley? Kawan, is that an actor on the show? I don't know. And Jocelyn is acting like, I'm not sure of her. You mean father's name, Jax? I don't know. Um, let's see what else we have. Deborah. Deborah says, don't even know why Michael answered the door when he saw it was Nina. Nothing good could come from talking to her. Exactly. And Willow having the nightmare about Nina taking her family was Carly wrong for not telling Willow? Willow had that nightmare of Nina taking her family because Nina wants Wiley. And it's like she even said to Ava, they don't want Nell's name mentioned to him. They want to make it like Nell doesn't exist. And it's like Michael said all along, bottom line, when my son gets older, late teens probably, maybe early teens, we'll tell him about his mother. He knows Willow is not his mother. He knows Willow adopted him, right? Because Michael doesn't want little Wiley to read on the internet the crazy criminal acts of Nell, right? But Nina wants to romanticize Nell to Wiley, which is absolutely not true. 100% not true. It was not true enough that Nina testified against Nell. So Nina is rewriting history in her mind where Janelle was concerned. She really is. She thought in the end, ultimately, Janelle would be destructive to her own child, which is why it was actually Nina's coffin in that nail and in that on the head of that nail that caused her not to have her son, right? Can't stand Drew on his high horse. Go find a nun. You might not be good enough for her. She will never find anyone who's squeaky clean. He will never find anyone who's squeaky clean. Carly is a good woman, good mom, and looks out for her family. Nina is a nightmare. She is a home wrecker. If she didn't lie a long time ago, things would have been different. She would, so she started the ball rolling. Had she not hidden Sonny and kept him from his family, Nina had all access to Wiley. They may not have liked Nina, but she still had all access to Wiley, right? So it was because of her direct doings. And Charlotte says, it is true what you're talking about. And I am happy to about Carly and Drew breaking up. Yep, they should be done. Lisa says they showed Sonia's tribute very quickly. I hope they'll have an episode for her. And Patricia says they will in March, probably, or isn't it February sweeps? Cindy says Nina could have called and asked to arrange a meeting, and she knew she would have been shut down because you know what? It's none of her business. Why would I need to meet with you, Nina? No. She had no right to show up unannounced at the gatehouse. She tore into Michael, which was so rude. She needs to learn how to have a respectful conversation. Only with Sonny can she have a respectful conversation, and Phyllis. Well, and Ava. She got to like you. Nina's got to like you, or you got to be your family, and then she'll have respectful conversation. And the respect of space for others. For their part, Michael and Willow should stop leaving the shades up at night. I know, close them little door curtains. And Cinder says Dex gets paid very well. He needs to purchase a bed. Yeah, because Jocelyn's going to be popping over all the time now. And Cinder also said, I like Carly, but I think she should have told Michael right away what Harmony said to her. Willow was too upset at the time of Harmony dying. Yep. But Michael could have given her the info when she calmed down. Then Willow could have decided if she wanted to pursue it further. You are so right, Cindy. That is so right. That's the way that should have went. Instead, Carly pursued DNA evidence, right? Then fibbing to Drew about it and sabotaging the investigation every step of the way. He explained how he felt about that. Carly means well, but she is out of line sometimes. Yep, this time she sure was. Annette says, funny, DNA didn't show up any kin between Wiley and Willow. Maybe Wiley isn't Nell's son. Well, they never did any kind of DNA tests from Wiley's DNA to Willow's DNA ever. I mean, that just hasn't happened. There was no need for them to do that. So they would have, if they ever had, it would be, they would show they were some related. Let's see. LaShanta says, I wish Josh was at Michael's house when Nina arrived. She would have drug her out by her hair. Yeah, Carly should have told Nina, but she wanted when she wanted to know. But I'm not mad. Nina was out of order. Then Nina tell Carly she would stay away from Willow. Or she was saying, no, actually she told Sasha. My goodness. No, she did tell Carly when Carly sent her out the house. I'll stay away. And then she told Sasha, I didn't mean to get into it with Willow. She's pregnant. I know. I will stay away. No, you didn't. Every first chance you get. She was hoping Willow would have been awake. So she could have not just torn into Michael, she would have torn into Willow. That's who she really wanted to tear into, was Willow. And then let's see. Michael said if Nina knew she had leukemia, she wouldn't have been over there. Well, that's out, because guess what? Nina found out she had leukemia, and where's the first place she went, right? Drew, because I don't agree with Drew, because I said if Carly knew Willow was sick, she would have told the truth, and she did. Drew still didn't know what Carly did. He thought he was smarter. It's a reason. Wait, this is a reason that Drew and Carly never slept together. I think the writers just realized that would look so incredibly horrible and awkward. Those two don't belong together. I bet Sonny won't say anything to Nina when he told her to stop fighting. No, he didn't say nothing to her. He just asked, why were you there? Oh, I know. Shut up. And then Carrie Jo says, I am a Carly fan too, and a Nina fan. But Nina went too far. Carly should have told Nina that she was Willow's mother a long time ago. They both are wrong. I never would have told Nina. I would have told Willow. Never would have told Nina. I would have told, like Cindy said earlier, I would have told my son, this is what Harmony said to me. Because like Carly saying, this was Harmony's dying wish. Carly didn't give a doggone about Harmony. She didn't even really know Harmony well enough to want to keep a dying wish. On top of the fact, Harmony tried to kill her, drugged her, shoved her in a truck, and was going to have that car go off a cliff. Carly had no allegiance to Harmony whatsoever. But when Harmony told her Nina was the mother, that's where Carly said, oh, I'm keeping that secret. Okay. But she should have told Michael, this is what Harmony said. Look. And she wants Willow protected from Nina. I just want you to know. or just flat out tell Willow. But Willow was grieving the fact that Harmony died, you know. So yeah, I would have told Michael, and let Michael tell Willow. And Ariana said, P.S. Nina picked a fight at Sonny's funeral with Jax. Then she was at Carly. Yeah, she was at them both, right? Right there at Sonny's funeral, right there at the right there at the right the burial site, right? But I guess what? Kind of turnabout was fair play. Remember, Nina was the only one who claimed Nell's body and buried her, took financial responsibility for her remains, right? And remember, she was the headstone had just been placed, and Nina was putting flowers on the grave, and Carly turned up saying, "You had the nerve to put this psychopath next to my husband's," wait, was it next to Sonny's grave? Or was it Mike's grave, Sonny's father's grave? I think it was because Sonny, I don't know, was Sonny gone, I think, when Nell died? Because that's why Jax and Carly were together so much. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, Carly was arguing with Nina that every time I go to see maybe Sonny's grave was there, my husband's grave, my son's grave, Mike's grave, I got to walk past this. And so Nina's like, look, it's they're way over there, and it's not way over there, it was the walkway, right? And she's here. Somebody had to take responsibility. Nell is the person, right? And so they're arguing. Carly trips over the headstone and knocks it over accidentally. Oh my goodness, yeah, that was Carly. And then Ariana says, Nina is deranged. Nothing and no one in that home of Wiley and Michaels is any of her business. No matter what happens with Willow, somehow it won't be Nina's fault. I know she didn't know. I didn't know. Didn't mean that. Her selfish entitlement or thought thereof in her mind makes her not responsible for anything she does. Carly and Drew are over, thank God. Carly is wrong and will pay. I agree that it's Willow's fault for being where she is. We can blame Carly for a lot of this mess, but not for Willow being sick. No, not for Willow being sick. And not for Willow, yeah, no, you know, Michael didn't know until Willow was in stage 4. I mean, come on. So nothing is ever her fault, just evil. The look on Brooklyn's face, priceless. Gladys needs the money to cover her debts. This is an extra special recap today. And then Michael says, you are too funny. Tell me how you feel about Nina. Don't hold back. Why do they write Willow so dramatic? I know, maybe it's because she's so weak and she thinks she's gonna die. Brooklyn and Cody will probably get together. I was hoping so, but I'm seeing them. They said that Chase will be with Sasha, maybe ultimately in the end, but they had Cody and Sasha see too much of each other. And guess what? We'll be 100% right if next week Cody and Sasha run into each other. That's how they always start, the accidental run into each other at Kelly's. They're going to run into each other. They never really ran into each other again. I mean, before, except for when Sasha brought Britt to deliver that baby, right? And then says, Gladys, poor Sasha. I hope Sonny finds out. Great recap. And then Dacia says, I hope that they never let Nina into Willow's hospital room to upset her, because then it's going to be all about Nina. See, Willow doesn't know that she's Nina's daughter, but Nina is going to, as soon as she sees Nina, if she woke up, her heart monitors would go off. But Nina wouldn't care about that. Nina wouldn't even think about that. All Nina would think, no, she's my daughter. And I am going to be in her room, because guess what? Ultimately, everyone, She is Willow's next of kin. Michael and Willow are not married. Nina, believe it or not, would be the one to make the decisions for Willow. Wow, isn't that us kicking everybody's teeth? Oh my goodness. That is incredible. And then she says, Nina is narcissistic and selfish, only thinking about herself. Dacia says Gladys is scared because she's in trouble gambling with Sasha's money. And no, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Scononafo. Okay. Yes, you're so right. Carly is wrong. She should have told Willow months ago. Carly's annoying and selfish, but I like her. Sandy says nosy Nina will never learn, but Michael should have put Nina out immediately. She isn't supposed to be around Wiley. Michael should have never let that woman in the house. That's really what should not have happened. And then Ron says Josh blew her chance with, I think you messed up and said with Sonny. And since she couldn't blame him, she turned to Dex. And Carly tried to talk her way out of what she did, throwing the blame on Nina. This is where it'll hit the fan when they find out that she's been lying the whole time. If Willow dies, it'll be Carly's fault. Carly lying the whole time about what? She just didn't tell. She just did not tell Willow that Nina was her mother. There's no way Willow even had an inkling, clue, thought on this planet that Nina was her mother. And so Carly didn't say anything, right? I think it became the lie, which is what we're all talking about. It became the lie, strictly the lie of true omission. Once Carly heard from her own mouth that Willow wanted to know who her parents were, her mother was, because remember, she said, I think this is when she and Carly were having, supposed to have dinner at the Metro Court. She asked Carly to join her because Michael couldn't. When Drew was meeting that woman that Carly paid off, Willow was saying, yes, I would kind of like to know, are there similarities? You know, Carly knew. And it was then once she knew, then it was her responsibility. Although she knew actually before that, because Drew told her, and Willow and Michael were there, I think, but she heard it firsthand from Willow's mouth. So Carly is going to really be in the crapper house. But that's it. That's it for the daily recap for General Hospital today. I will be back Friday. You know, Friday is going to be good when Nina finds out. Let's see what she does. Is Willow going to kind of code out or slip further into her coma, and they're going to have to do emergency bone marrow transplant? Or actually, they would have to deliver the baby first, remember? Terry said we would have to deliver the baby and then try to save Nina. So let's see what decision Mama Nina's gonna make. No, you can't deliver that. Oh, no, now that baby's gonna be her grandchild. See now, let's see how it changes. Because remember, she talked about how selfish Michael and Willow were for thinking of this new baby, which is Willow's child. Willow wasn't thinking about my daughter Nell's child, Wiley, right? She is only thinking about this new baby when Wiley needs both his parents. Let's see if Nina's gonna make the decision to do whatever and jeopardize the health of this grandchild that's really gonna be her second grandchild. Now, Nina, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So anyway, it's gonna get good. I think next week is gonna be a very good week on General Hospital. So I will be back doing the daily recaps like I've been doing it, but I ought to have something good to talk about. So everybody have a phenomenal evening.